up, that was what I wanted to do, and that was going to be everything. And then I got the job, and I had it for a few years, and I thought, oh my goodness, am I going to do this every day for the rest of my life? And I started thinking, maybe this isn't, I mean, it was fun, but maybe I wanted to do something new. So about the same time, my co-founder, who is just amazing, she is not only was a world judo champion, but also has a PhD in education and is a programmer, so she's like a literal coding ninja when people say coding ninjas, said, well, she wanted to do games teaching math. She was getting her PhD, but it was 20 plus years ago at the time, and so the technology didn't exist. And she put in for a grant and said, here's the thing, I can do the education part, I can do some of the programming. We had another co-founder who'd been in the defense industry doing simulation software for the military, so he could do some of the programming. She said, well, we need someone to help with the stories. And so if you would have asked me 7 years ago, would I be doing this, I would have thought you were completely crazy. But I thought, oh my God, that actually sounds like a lot of fun. Like, you get to take things that are in your brain and like have people make them, right? Like something that only exists in your head, and people will then, you tell people and you get your team together and you start doing the art and all the things that Susanna was just talking about, and then it comes to life. So we sat down and said, okay, well, we want to make games that teach math because we know it's really important, but we thought it could be done in a way that was maybe more fun, or where, you know, for example, no one runs into my office and says, quick, what's 5 times 7? What's 5 times 5? What's 5 times 3? But, you know, that's sometimes the way that kids were feeling like they were being taught in school. So we thought, well, what if we can take a game which puts all that math in context, and then we can put it in schools and kids will want to play it. So that's how we started. We wanted to do this. We likewise had no experience. You know, people say, well, how many games did you ship before then? But my co-founder has a great line, which is, there's no history of anything happening until it does, and then there is. So that's kind of what we did. We said, well, we're going to do this, why not us? And so that's what we did. And so our first games we built too, and we wanted to build games. We come from, you know, we're not the Silicon Valley ideal of what people are supposed to be, and I say that in quotes because it's ridiculous, but, you know, we are 2 women founders, 2 of us are Latina. We did not come from where you see a lot of people in games like that. And we were working actually to build games for kids initially in rural communities, so Native American kids who didn't see themselves in things. And we really wanted to, and one of the cool things that we got to do was build out games and worlds where the characters were much more reflective than what we were seeing. So, you know, whether, you know, it's kids that, you know, we have bilingual games. So, see, I was like, no, we had that. So everything, the goal was to build games that were different and fun, and that's what we get to do every day. And so now I'm excited about that.
That's great. One of the things you just said about
making games or ideas?
I think Susanna should answer this question, not the 3 of us, maybe.
Yes, well, actually we do. And we actually have a program that we want to bring to Washington, D.C. We have kids design games about issues that are important to them. So they get to design games around how to be kind and not bully people. They make games around how to, like, tell what information is true and ignore information that's not true that you might see. So we actually do run that program, and I hope we'll talk with Ed about this some more, about how we can bring it to you guys to help you guys make games. And you do too, right?
Yeah, I would say we do too. We have something called a project-based learning unit where we work with schools. We usually do Skype or Google Hangout, and we talk to them and we say, okay, what do you want to see in games, right? And kids are the best critics. You just have to be really, they'll say, I hate this part, I love this part, you should do more of this, and so we work with kids and teachers and we say, okay, well, how can we make the games better? What should we do? What should we change? And then we take those changes, not all of them. Someone said, you should have zombies in your game, but our game is about Native Americans living on the plains, so that didn't work. But they said, you should have powwow music, and then we put those things in, because we know not all the good ideas are within our office. We have a lot of good ideas, but there's a lot of really good ideas out there, and kids have really great ideas, and we have taken a lot of those ideas from those project-based learning projects that we've done with them, and we actually put them in the games so the kids then see, oh my goodness, they took my idea and it's actually here now live and I'm playing it.
Do you know that there's actually a job, which is a game tester? Right? Like, we need people to play test these games to see if they're working. So that's another way that, and we want the audience who are going to be playing the games to give us feedback. So that's another way.
Who here would want to get paid for playing video games? Just-